Hey everyone, 30.6 here, and welcome back to another episode of Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Royal Navy campaign. Last episode, we found ourselves basically in control of the war. I mean, we've been in the control of the war for a while. However, Italy still refuses to make peace. And they've sent a fleet over here to Gibraltar to try to invade. However, we have intercepted them. Oh, my brother's just returned from college. I can hear him blasting music with the windows down. For those of you who have been a long-time viewer of the channel, if you remember, there was an episode of the Rising Sun campaign where he bursts into the room with his new camera and just stands there, and then I ask what, and then he uses the camera flash multiple times to blind me. Now, he said he'd done it to himself before, and he thought, you know what would be funny? I'll do it to him while he's trying to record. So that was a treat. But anyway, we do have better guns than the San Pietro Apostolo um, class because they only have Mark 1s, we have Mark 3s. So we have better guns. Dominion has 14s. I am going to upgun them as soon as we're done. But we need to get done with the war first before we even think about doing refits because it's almost 1930. We've barely done any refits this campaign, which is concerning. And the Dreadnoughts are still in service, which just shows you how behind we are. Weather is cloudy, so possible. We're gonna hope not. We're gonna merge the light cruiser and the destroyers into one division, so I can keep an eye on them. So for the Queen Elizabeth's refit, what I'm thinking is I might turn these 3 4-inch guns into 6-inchers, maybe 6-inch triples, just to give them a little bit more range, because the 4s can only reach out the same range as the ow, only have the same range as the 2-inch guns, which is a slight issue. Orlando, head that way. We'll head out that way. So the nice thing is with our 15-inch guns, I might largen the entire fleet's 50. Ooh, okay. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that Warspite sinking those shots. Like the real life Warspite just decided that I don't want to deal with you right now, so therefore your life is forfeit. Um, on multiple occasions, in fact. She still, I believe, holds the record for the longest distance shot ever made from one warship to another. I think it was like 20 miles, question mark? I can't remember how far it was, but I believe Warspite still holds the record, which pains me as an American to say, but it's Warspite. What are you gonna do? I don't know why they're firing at the light cruiser. I get it. She presents a torpedo threat, but you know. Warspite, if you want to keep shooting at her, that's fine. Donegal, start firing at Trento. Imperius. Fire at the Delfino. Someone just got destroyed. I'm gonna give that to Warspite because she was the one who hit that first shot. It's down tick so I know what everyone's aiming at. Ow. Warspite takes a couple of torps. Who is flagship? Okay, you are flagship. I'm gonna detach Warspite. She's fine. Maybe not. I think it's maybe Warspite's turn to have an early exit from the battle. Probably check cruisers. Light cruiser Comas focus on the Zada. Asking which torpedoes, that's fine. Torpedo coming from the Donko. Pure use at the Teneto. Alright. Hey, Dominion, do me a favor. Start shooting at the battleships. Let the heavy cruisers do their job. Probably check on these guys. They're fine. Alright, that one goes to King Alfred. I think I do need to get rid of some older designs. Maybe I need to turn around. These Dreadnought submarines. These aren't Dreadnought submarines. That's not burning alive that I can look at. Yeah, Delfino. Alright, it's still burning up. I like the Italian cruiser hulls, just as a matter of preference in the game. The only problem I have is the rear tower being taller. It doesn't look as good. But I love the heavy cruiser hulls for Italy. Even this tower, and I notoriously hate this tower. The one with the weird barbette on the end. This is actually not a bad design. Like, if I was designing this ship, and I'm gonna be biased here, the 10-inch guns, those are really good 10-inch guns. Mark IV 55 caliber guns. Actually, those are really good guns. They're a bit slow. And they're glass cannons. What are you using? Nose fuse, cap ballistic, cordite 2, enhanced reflex. Not a bad ship. This isn't a bad ship, like, honestly. Like, yes, there is a distinct lack of secondary armament. Like, the single 5.3-inch gun doesn't really have a purpose here. If I was designing this, I'd maybe shorten the 10-inch guns down to maybe 45s. Because 55 is a little excessive. I mean, you could, but accuracy at that range is just so limited. So I would narrow it down maybe to 10-inch 45 or maybe 50 caliber guns, and keep the triples. So triple here, triple here, triple here. Get rid of this barbette, use a smaller barbette. Triple here. Stack. Put a stack here if you can get a taller stack, and then balance it out with some secondaries. Maybe 5-inch guns, maybe it's a heavy cruiser, so the 6 inches would still count as main battery, so I guess you could upsize your 5-inch guns to 5.9s. Maybe do 5.5s just to give them a little bit better range. Or if this was a British hull, I would say use 4s. Use maybe 4.7s, maybe use I guess you could stick with 5-inch guns, make them maybe 5-inch 40s, and put like one here, one here, one here, in theory. Or dual 5s there, a barbette here to have another 5-inch gun as kind of your heavy anti-air armament. And then you have like a bunch of 2s, like these 2.5-inch guns. You have a bunch of 2s and like 40 caliber guns and the machine guns along the hull. And even the torpedo launchers isn't a bad idea. Like, this is a really good designed ship, and I know I'm ranting about it, but normally I complain often about how bad the game's AI is at designing like actual ships. Just something real quick. Maybe that'll improve the frame rate. It helps. Like, that's actually a really good counter to armors. Besides the fact that their armor is just non-existent. So that's like the one complaint I have. Who got the Zara? Comus. The one complaint I have about that design is its armor. And that one 5-inch gun. Like, if it had been, let's say, like, oh, it's like an 8.55 on the belt, I would think it's, I would say that's like a top-tier design. Because, I mean, the 10-inch triples make a lot of sense. Having... What was that? Cumberland. It's a really... But the problem is, again, no armor. So that's the problem you run into when you're designing cruisers, at least in this game that I have. One of my major complaints is heavy cruisers. Horseplate is still slogging along. Delfino goes down to Duke of Edinburgh. Oof. Trento's still taking fire. Like, even if you didn't want to do... It's been loud. Like, even if you didn't want to do underwater torpedo tubes, you could do maybe like a deck tube here with like extra long-range torpedoes and use it as like a raiding cruiser. I'm gonna give that to Orlando. Now we just have the battleships to deal with. Probably speed up. Again, I will never understand this design. What are those 15.6s? 52s? Problem is these guys have got... what range are we at? 9.1? What's your armor quality? 130%. What's your inner belt? Yeah, we can't break through. Not yet, at least. Use. Turn and try to get some torpedoes off. Comus, bring your squadron around, and then King Alfred. No, just King Alfred, detach. And you two go this way. King Alfred, fall back. still don't understand why they catch on fire. I understand we have really good HE, but not having spacious bulkheads, standard bulkhead, spacious quarters. I don't know. That's not. Here's the problem. Now these guys are down to piercing. What are your 8-inch guns? 8-inch 40s? I think when we do another refit on the Avengers, I think I'm gonna give them 8-inch 45s instead. Along with auto reload, that should really up our firepower. I think it's worth it to sacrifice that little bit of reload time and try to get it back in exchange for a little bit more range. Especially as our 10-inch gun heavy cruisers aren't going to be out for a while. Mainly because I can't find them, and the other reason is I have to probably design them. I think another reason is most of these guys are... What? You're joking. These guys are trained crew. Warspite's regular. So that's experienced. Queen Elizabeth's trained. Dominion is trained. I'm surprised we don't have veteran crews in this fleet. Caudulio has surrendered to high casualties. We will award that to Imperius. The Dominions need to be refit to have 15s. And I think I'm going to deploy the Dominions to the Pacific, possibly. I don't know who that is. Well, I guess we'll just go by damage. 8 ships sunk. MVP is going to be Cumberland. So I guess Cumberland can have that second kill. Very nice. Very nice. Ambush here of 8 destroyers of the Orford class. I don't think so. Just whacked Italy, so I don't think... And they're still moving. Okay. Just whacked them, so I don't think... Modern battleship and super battleship hulls. Interesting. Those are the Mark V 3s. This is 3,300 ton destroyers. More shipyard capacity. Now sign the peace treaty. Nope. Do I think I can take on a battleship with these guys? Uh, no. Ooh, a couple of newer cruisers and one old cruiser. Let's see what this battleship's got. Maybe... No, it's one of these. Okay. Maybe we can. Try it. Alright, so Caroline, move that way. You guys move that way. Torpedoes off, guns off. Smoke up. I do not want them spotting you. This is the Perth class, I believe. Who've been really successful as a class. I will say, these guys have been in service for a long time. And I'm happy they are. They're a great class. You get a decent torpedo armament, decent defense. Oh, crap. 6-inch guns are... They have longer range than our 8-inch guns, which is a problem. Put these on save. Just try and get close if you can. Go for a torpedo run and then... Ah, there are the transports. Fire focused on the battleship. Now turn. Garland and Spectre turn in and attack the transports. Come on. Alright. Turn broadside. Ooh, flashfire. I went down normal speed just to hopefully stave off the crash. Pretty sure that Giulio Cesare was not prepared for a bunch of British light cruisers to ambush her. Really? I don't get to kill the destroyer? The what? That's some bull crap. I don't even get to kill the transports. That is some bull crap. But we got their battleship, so haha. What? Where? There's no special army operations going on. Oh my god, okay, fine. $21,000-ton heavy cruiser. Those could be fun for 6-inch guns. Or not 6-inch guns, for 10-inch guns to play around with a kind of a pocket battleship design. Speaking of which, we need to refit the exemplars. I swear by the end of this campaign, we're going to have like $5 trillion in the bank. With how much money we're making. It's ridiculous. Only 26 minutes in the episode, which is surprising. I thought we were much further in. 654,000 victory points. Show of dominance. Uh-huh. Orlando gets 2 more. The dog is upset because something is interfering with his perceived space. Orlando gets 2. Very nice. Advanced fire control. Excellent. Okay, I really want to go to war with France, but I don't think I'm going to get the chance to at this rate. This might be radar, so I'm going to take this off of that, put that on. Radar would be huge. Mark 5 3s. Are these the battle cruisers we've been fighting? Guess we're about to find out. I can never tell. We've fought so many different types of ships, I legitimately can't tell which ones are what anymore. We got Royal Sovereign, Revenge, and Union of South Africa. Carlisle class. I think the next class of light cruisers we build is going to be the Town class. I know it's a bit early for the Town class because they came in later in the 30s, but I nearly said BC Carolina, but that's not true. It's Carolina. Let's check out these battle cruisers. Yeah, we fought these before. And I've already ranted about their design. That 4-belt, though, is ridiculously heavy. Town and take your cruiser task force that way. I have a feeling that's where they're hiding. Destroyers, get in front of the battle cruisers, torpedoes off, and smoke on. Just keep an eye on them. I have a feeling their escorts over here. Yeah, there they are. Battleships to focus on that. Let the light cruisers handle everything else. South Africa still tailing. Your division, focus on that, please. Thank you. Out here somewhere. There you are. Oh, these are the Dreadnought cruisers. How are you all doing? Yeah, torpedoes on and get out. Slow them down if you can. Someone's about to get bonked with a torpedo. Oh god, not again! Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I reloaded the game, and it keeps popping me back out at this battle. So I'm going to do this battle off screen, and try to get the peace treaty going. So I'm going to have to move the ships back up here to block the Balearic Islands invasion, and there's another battle over here. I'm going to do this battle off screen, and then hopefully when I get back to you all, we can move on to this battle. I'm going to leave the kills the same from the original battle because we couldn't really help that, and I'll make sure to save before every battle from now on. But yeah, I will be back in a few minutes once I have got this done. But for you guys, it'll probably be like 10 seconds. So I will be back. Oh, that took a bit longer than I was expecting, but we're back. Basically, the same thing happened. The only real difference is that I used the battleships a lot more aggressively, which I found to be actually surprising how effective they were. Because those 14-inch guns, against even how heavily armored the Italian ships are, they actually did pretty well. Results were the same. We sank everything. I'm gonna merge these guys. Where are the freaking... All I see is the Avenger class. I never see the Waterloo class, and I still have no idea what port they're in. Also, what I'm going to do after this battle is done is I'm going to go through, find the designs we never used. I'm just going to delete them. They're taking up space, and someone had mentioned that that might be a reason why, is it's 'cause it's taking up a lot of extra space, and it's trying to load those designs when we're not even using them. Let me figure out who said that real quick, because I want to thank you, because I'm going to try it, and I want to make sure I get this right. So let me check the YouTube studio, and we're gonna check it right now. We gotta check it, man. Of course, thank you all for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment. I reply to, I think, just about every one, as long as it's not something weird. La 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 la. We're on the game's crashing episode, I think. So what was that? Episode 22, I think? Scott, Junkie 6825, thank you. Said, I'm going to quote you here. One thing that might help with crashing would be to delete obsolete designs. As I understand it, having lots of designs in your design pool adds a lot of strain on the game as it's loading stuff. And I think you're right, because I've never had this problem before. In all the other campaigns, we had a lot of designs, but it just never was the same level of crashing. It was literally just my computer couldn't process everything. So at least we know what the problem might be. So we're going to try it. Maybe that'll help, but we won't know until the next really recording I do, which will probably be right after I eat my lunch. As it's 1:30 and I haven't eaten lunch yet. I do need to speed up the heavy cruisers. When I do a refit of the Avenger class, especially if we get radar, I'm going to go ahead and give these guys 30 knot top speed and bring our light cruisers up to about 34 if I can. Come on, sink it, sink it, sink it, sink it. Kill it with fire. Oh my god. Barham just said, I'm gonna delete that thing from existence. Okay. I'm pretty sure firing a 15-inch gun at that range is a war crime, but holy crap. Just a 15-inch shell just plowing from the ship end to end. Good night. The bad way to go. Alright, Edgar is bringing her squadron up. Hampshire is bringing her squadron up. They are starting to fire. I'm not really concerned about them getting hits, per se. I just want them to start slowing down the, what ship is that? The Victoria Emmanuel? Just get her to start slowing down so we can catch up. She is running currently, and we don't want that to happen. But it looks like she's got a destroyed funnel, which will slow her down. She's only making 19 knots, and we're making 28 with the heavy cruisers, and the battleships are doing 25. That's something else that needs to be increased, our battleship speed, if I can. But I do plan on building some fast battleships here pretty quick. King Georges are pretty quick, but I need to build like a Rodney. I did say I was going to try to experiment with that design, so I guess it's worth a shot. God, I love these heavy cruisers. See, this is what's nice about having the 8-inch guns, is they're a nice medium point between, like, quick-firing 6s. We'll give that to Essex, that's fine. Quick-firing 6-inch guns. So you get the same... You get an increased fire rate of a small gun, but you get a damage output that's lower than, let's say, a 10-inch gun, which I think is a really big advantage once you consider it. And I'm sorry. Okay, you all turn around. Block that naval invasion. I'm gonna assume, like earlier, that is radar. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this game while we're at it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I don't want you guys to have to sit here for another 20 minutes as I try to end the war. So I'm gonna go ahead and no, that is the wrong button. I think I'm also gonna get rid of the torpedo boats, maybe. I haven't decided yet. Battleship 1. We're getting new battleships, so... Yeah, I think... Renounced? Did we ever build them? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We never built the Renowned class. I might have to rectify that. I could still build it. So might have to rectify that. And the skirmisher class. We never built these. And then Valorous. We haven't even laid down the Valorous class yet. The Antrims are theoretical. The Manlies, I don't think I'm ever going to build. Patrol class. I don't think I'm going to build these either. Can I build Temeraire class? I can. Maybe I build it, maybe I don't. Oh, we still have the Majestic class to build. We got a lot of stuff to build. Okay, so let's end the episode here. And the next episode, we're going to go. Hopefully, the war will be over. We can end the war, we can send ships back, and then we can get on with construction and refits and repairs. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.